It's another cold one. Oh, it's about 6 degrees in here right now. That's Fahrenheit. That's well into the negative for Celsius. Oh, we have the most cursed computer to look at today. I really want to just jump right into it, but it's cold, don't have a whole lot of time, and we have an unboxing to do. So let's have a look at whatever this is. It is fairly well tied together here. Hey, it's from Indiana. I was born in Indiana. That's pretty cool. Now I don't want to dox the person, so let's keep it facing like so. Yeah, because there's an address on both sides. Now I need something to open this. I mean, I guess I could just keep using this. Well, got this. Oh, hey, related to the computer we're going to do. My friend left his temperature gun here. It is too low for it to read. It says AL. That doesn't make any sense. Well, it's just reading AL. I don't know what that means. I'll have to make sure to get this back to him. How do I open this? Do I have my scissors handy? I don't know where my scissors are. We're going to try a screwdriver. Everything is so cold. I can't touch anything. It's just freezing. Wow. Wow, that's just a sheet of tape. Okay. How does this actually open, though? More tape. That's a lot of stuff. Okay. It's so cold in here. Hey, we've got a network switch. Linksys. Looks like it's a 24-port 10100 switch. 10100 is rather slow, but I can still actually make use of this. Thank you very much. Oh, that is cold. I gotta get... Oh. I don't know why I keep getting surprised by the temperature. There's a lot of stuff in here. We have a graphics card. Oh, hey, this is a GTX 1050. That's a really good card. Like, that's a really good card, actually. That is... Thank you. That's crazy. That is awesome. Oh, we got a big one. Well, it's a 2 gig card. Oh, it's a GTX 760. Also a very, very good card. I know that it's a bit older, but I can't even speak, it's so cold. The GTX 760 is a very capable card in the right system. We've got... I gotta say, you packaged this like super well. There's lots of foam in here. I bet you anything, everything here survived. RAM. Sorry about tape on RAM bag. Tried to keep it secure. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's try to open it. Can't use my fingers. It's so cold here. Oh, that's what you meant. What do we have? That's a lot of RAM. Wait a minute. Oh, they're in like little holders. Hey, that's pretty good. They're broken, but I think a little glue can fix that. It looks like a bunch of DDR2. There's some registered ECC DDR3 here. That's actually pretty useful. I have systems that we're going to be looking at very soon, hopefully, that actually use registered DDR3. So this is actually really cool. I really appreciate that. Who sent this? Andy! I appreciate you. Oh, next we have PC fans. Oh! You know, I actually need a fan in one of the builds that we're doing in this video, so this might actually be coming in handy. Oh, perfect. So this is the fan either out of a tight case such as the Silverstone there, or this could have been... No, this was a case fan. It wouldn't have been a CPU fan because the wrong side has the protection on it. It's a very, very thin fan. That's pretty cool. I think we can use that. And we got looks like four 120 mil fans and another 80 mil fan. That's actually really clean. Did you clean these? I think we're going to use one of these today. Okay, let's get some of the packing. Oh, there's more. We have DDR3 RAM. When we finally get to today's subject matter, it's so bad. It is so cursed. But it also uses DDR3. Oh! Hey! That is a super nice 3D printed RAM holder. That is sick. That is so cool. Looks like mostly 2 gig sticks, and that is A-okay. We can use 2 gig. We've got... Can't tell what size that is. It's a crucial stick. 4 gig. Hey! That's pretty good, too. And then these ones, which are kind of stuck in there, but that's okay. A-data. 2 gig, I think. Yeah, that's got to be 2 gig. I think. I don't know what I'm more excited for, the RAM or the holder. That's actually super cool. Thank you very much. Wow. Okay. Is there anything more up to... Oh, wait. Hey, we got a note. Hell yeah. If you do send things in to us, P.O. Box in the description below, feel absolutely free to include notes. I love reading these. Hi, Matt. I just wanted to say keep up the good work, and I love watching your videos. I appreciate that. I hope you can make good use of all of this. So far, so good. Absolutely. The graphics cards were working when I put them in the box. Tested them before I sent them. That's actually pretty cool. Not a lot of people do that. There are a lot of 2 gig sticks of ECC RAM and some non-ECC. I heard you're going to be doing a project with ECC memory, so I hope these will be of some use. Yes. Holy cow, yes. Like I said in the email... Oh, that's right, you emailed me. It's so cold I can't even think. I do not know if the HDMI capture card works or not. Fingers crossed. So that is actually super important. P.S. I may have more to send to you. That is awesome, dude. Thank you so much. I don't have it here. It was here for a while. It's broken, so it's... Long story short, everything you see on the wall here is a full system. All of these have computers inside them. This isn't just a bunch of empty cases. These are all full systems. And a lot of them I did, I built them up, tested them and all that on camera. The problem is, especially with some of these older systems, I didn't have a good way to capture the VGA outputs. So I did pick up a capture card a while back, and unfortunately it lasted like 6 videos before it went kaput. So, money well spent, I guess. Long story short, what I do is I convert VGA to HDMI, and then I capture the HDMI. So my VGA to HDMI still works just fine. It's the HDMI capture that broke. So if this works, this will greatly increase the quality of the gaming montages that we do. I know some of you don't like them. I know that. You have been very clear in telling me that. And I'm not going to do them in every single video, but we will still do them occasionally from now on. They are a very good way to express the... What is that? Express the capabilities of a system. I love DVI cables. I do not have a lot of those. I have so many VGA. What? It's an Intel cooler. I thought that this on the outside and whatever gen this was metal, but it's plastic. That's actually cool. I didn't have one of these. I have a lot of the older style, but that is sick. That's cool. Oh, does it light up? I hope that lights up. Oh, that is cool. I mean, woo, that's an AM3/4/ occasionally. Oh, that is very beat up. This cooler is very useful. I have a lot of these systems that I keep revolving out the door. You would not believe how many, specifically AM2 systems, that I get from the trash, from dumpsters, from people donating them to me, and then I desperately need to find a better cooler for them because they have some A8, 6400 or whatever the heck they have, and then it just overheats and kills itself, so I need to find better coolers for them. And this is one of the better ones that I've seen. I've seen some real bad ones. This will be put to good use. And for reference, to those of you who are new here, I build a lot of computers, and I donate them to people in need. So, oh God, I must donate 4 to 5 a month. Sometimes more, sometimes less. SATA cables, always very, very useful. I go through so ungodly many of those. We've got, this is some really good packing material, my guy. That is cool. Thank you so much for actually, like, seriously protecting the stuff that you sent. That is awesome. We have disk drives. I'll look at those in just a moment. What is this? Piece of plastic? Oh no, it's just paper. Okay, this must be the capture card. I don't want to dox the person. If I can get it open. I can't use my hands, it's so cold. Oh. It is a DeBuilda 4K 60 video capture card. I suspect that this will work just fine. Wow, that is just as cold as everything else. Okay. So the I'm just gonna put this cover back on it before I drop it or something. I don't capture at 4K 60. I capture usually at 720p, sometimes lower. So that should work just fine. A lot of those Chinese brands will technically do 4K 60, but it'll be either for a couple of moments before it dies, or it'll be like super pixelated and artifacty. But when you go to the lower resolutions, those work great. I think that'll be perfect for us. We're not going to test it today, but oh god, it's so cool. last package. Do I need something to open this with? Maybe. Disk drives. What do we have? I can't even use my fingers. Oh, literal disk drives. Hey. Wow, those are tight in there. Okay. We have, I don't want to drop these on this table, an LG Super Multi Drive. It's got LightScribe. And then an Asus, another Super Multi. Okay. These are are they? Oh, sick. So, this one is SATA. Always useful. I go through so many of these things because I always like to donate PCs that have a disk drive. If you got a bunch of DVDs around and you just don't have a DVD player, or if your DVD player goes kaput, well, it's always very useful to still have one of these in your PC. Don't have a great place, it's so cold. But this DVD drive, this is IDE. I can use the heck out of this because I don't have a whole lot of working, qualifier there, working IDE DVD drives. Okay, I gotta clear this table, and we can start looking at the most cursed PC that I've had to touch. Oh, God. Oh, okay. A lot of stuff still on the ground out here. This is a big PC. Okay. Oop. I'm cold, man. My friend came over and we were building this, and he brought his diesel heater. Oh, I gotta get me one of those. Okay, so what do we have here? We have, honestly, a pretty kick-ass system. This is one of the coolest computers that I've had the pleasure of working on, and also the most cursed computers that I've had the displeasure of working on. So let's get this off of here. This case was donated to the channel by a friend that lives in, I think, Mason City. Oh, the motherboard is an, I think it's an Asus like Sabertooth or something. It is an X58 system. Very cool. I think they included an i7 960 with the motherboard, and it worked great. This was going to be a surprise video. Didn't work out that way for a lot of reasons. I'm hosting a LAN party later this year. The goal is sort of a DirectX 9 era, maybe DirectX 10 type of thing. We're going to play Unreal Tournament 2004, Quake 3, maybe some Halo CE. We'll see. My friend decided to go a little bit overkill with this X58 system. He got an i7 975. That's a 6-core, 12-thread i7. We've got 24 gigs of RAM and a GTX 285, which is a really cool graphics card and right at the end of that era. And sort of to be era appropriate, he decided to run Windows Vista. Now I know what you're thinking. Stop. You're wrong. There's nothing wrong with Windows Vista if you have Service Pack 2. Base Vista is the worst, but as long as you've got Service Pack 2, it's actually fairly usable and a reasonably nice operating system. Problem is, when we built this thing, we couldn't get it to install. It hated everything we tried to do. We couldn't get 7 to install. We couldn't get XP to install. We couldn't get 10 to install. I didn't try Linux, but it probably also would have failed. Half the time it wouldn't see the SSD. Half the time it would. It's supposed to have 2 SATA controllers. One of them's like a Marvel something 91XX. I don't actually know. And the other one's some Intel controller. We couldn't get access to the Intel controller, which is friggin' bizarre. We have the SSD plugged into one of these SATA 2 ports because the SATA 3 ports are connected to the Marvel controller, and anytime it's connected there, you can't install anything to it, which is bizarre. Also, the SSD does not show up in BIOS, but it shows up when you install the system. What the hell? But the problems didn't stop there. After probably close to 4 hours of testing, we finally just kind of gave up and I sent him home with this. And then his cat promptly knocked it off of the bed, and it destroyed our quite nice Cooler Master half case. So that's really unfortunate. I promised him I would look into this, but I don't think I can do anything about that. I really am sorry, dude. I know he's going to watch this, so I will look into it, but I just don't think I can fix this without, like, properly taking it apart and using epoxy or something. I'll see what I can do. Eventually, he was able to convince Vista to install, and, well, that's where the problems really began. He couldn't get networking to work whatsoever. I don't have that much more time. I have to go pick up Olive from work soon. It is late. It is cold. Networking, that's right. He couldn't get his networking to work whatsoever. He couldn't get certain programs to install or run, and he was getting the somewhat infamous GL driver query crash from Steam. So I came over, we installed another network card, kind of maybe got networking working. Steam sort of worked, but we still had that driver crash. Oh God, even the computer's cold, even though this has been in my car with the heat. The onboard NIC does not work whatsoever. You plug something in, no link light. The top PCI Express slot covers the only regular PCI. So in order to have this PCI network card installed, we had to move the graphics card down a slot, which, as he very correctly pointed out, we think bumps it down to X8. But we're not really sure. The performance seemed to not be impacted. But, oh, this thing is just... Sometimes it won't post at all. Sometimes when you try to turn this thing on, it'll tell you that there's a problem with the drive in port 3, which is what we're using for the SSD, which is brand new. Additionally, the power supply makes some really strange whining noises when you do anything. You move the mouse and the power supply screeches. You stop moving the mouse, the power supply stops screeching. You open a program, the power supply like beeps at you in Morse code. And it's all coil whine. It's not like an actual like speaker noise. It's coil whine of some sort. So I think that this power supply is just bad. That might account for some of our issues, but not all of them. And I really hate to say it, but he's kind of getting like the worst introduction to X58. This should be an amazing system. It's got 24 gigs of RAM. It's got 6 cores, 12 threads. Even with Windows 10, this should be awesome. But with the networking issues, we had a Wi-Fi card that just would not work at all. It wasn't even detected by the system. Just, oh God, it's so cold in here. And this system just, I don't know what I can do to it. I promised him I'd look at it. I think our first order of business is replacing that power supply, but I don't really have anything better. In fact, I gave him this power supply because 850 is a big number go burr. I got a 600 watt here somewhere. I see it. Surprise, surprise, this is actually really cold too. Got this Thermaltake Smart Power W3 600 watt. Fairly respectable power supply. But with this system, I know that a power supply calculator will tell you that 550 is enough for this. But that, I don't know. With this kind of setup, both the card and the CPU, very, very power hungry. And X58 itself is also very power hungry. So, I don't know. I mean, we'll try it, but oh, what a pain. And I feel really bad because X58 is cool. He should be having a great time, but he's just wanting to put his fist through this thing every time he tries to turn it on because you don't know if it will turn on. And we spent like a solid hour cable managing this thing. It is pretty. Let me show you the backside. Giggity. I want to be gentle with this machine, considering how tenuous the top is attached. Look at that. That's beautiful cable management, especially for a system this old, in a case this old. I feel bad, you know? Like, it feels like it's kind of my fault. In addition, the power supply itself, when I gave it to him, didn't actually have any, it's a semi-modular power supply, and I do actually have a big bag of modular cables for it, but none of these are SATA. There's no SATA. It's all PCIe and floppy connectors and extra CPU pins. So we had to use a Molex to SATA adapter, which should be fine. But with this power supply, I have no idea. So I just feel so bad. I feel like this is my fault because I gave him potentially a piece of crap power supply. let this be known that sometimes this is just what you risk when you deal with old hardware. So, on one hand, I could have done them better, but on the other, them's the breaks sometimes. Trying to get all this stuff out of here without slicing my fingies open. Oh boy. There we go. Ow. Sliced my fingy open. Damn it. Oh, this cable management. It was good. Okay. I feel so bad. Anyway, let's get this power supply out. All right, we got the old power supply out. Yeah, I threw it in the trash. That with the noises that thing was making, it just, I don't trust it at all. So we're gonna go with this again, Smart Power 600 watt. I have my reservations on whether or not that's enough power, but it's what I've got. I don't have anything better than this. At least nothing that I trust. So let's get this installed, and then we'll see if it powers on. Okay. There you go, new power supply's in. I tried my best to cable manage this thing. It isn't as good as what Nick was able to do. I helped him, but he did most of the original cable management. One of the issues is simply that the cables on this power supply are shorter. So I had to route them in different areas, and sometimes they're just a little bit too long to be nice, but also too short to reach any of the proper cable management locations. So is what it is. Let's go ahead, turn it on, and see if it boots. That's going to be our big thing right there, is will it boot? Will it even post? I'm losing my fingers. Can't feel much here. I jest, but I'm also not actually not exaggerating much. I gotta get out of this cold soon. This motherboard, much like some of the other ones I've had in the past, does not like to boot when there's anything plugged into the USB ports. So let's get this ready. Position this here to where you can see it. Now, I mean, it's on. That's like half that. I'm going to warm up next to my heater here while we wait to see if we get a screen. I've also plugged in the speakers, so hopefully we get some sound out of this thing. We're in VISTA. We have the same driver crashes as before, but that's probably just a Steam thing. We have sound. I wonder, where's that switch? I gotta test something. I'm gonna power up the switch. I don't know if the switch works. It thinks there's a bunch of stuff connected when there definitely is not. Okay, maybe that's not going to be useful for us. I was going to try and connect the onboard Ethernet to that switch just to see if it links, because before, nothing. This is doing pretty good though so far. I mean, we're in the system, everything's working. There's no weird whining from the power supply. So I think, although I hesitate to call this fixed, I would like to put a Wi-Fi card in here. I think I see one that we might be able to put in here. So let's go ahead and power this down. Just real quick. Give him some wireless networking, if this works. That's... Got my flash drive here with Snappy Driver Installer. That way we can get the drivers for that Wi-Fi card ready to go. Oh, that's right. I need my custom mouse mat. Okay. I know you generally want to be looking at the camera when you do stuff, but I kind of have to look at the screen. So let's... Yep. GL driver query 64 exe. That's completely expected. Close. So let's... Okay, so it does not see our Wi-Fi, but that's okay. Let's see if we can get some drivers installed. It's also perfectly possible that this Wi-Fi card might not have drivers for VISTA. We'll find out. What we are currently doing is we're using Snappy Driver Installer. Snappy Driver Installer is an awesome program that has a huge catalog of drivers for older operating systems, I believe from 2000 up through 11. That's Windows. So let's see. Wireless LAN card. Okay. Perfect. I do not think... Hold on. He has Wi-Fi. Okay. Oh, that is fantastic. He has a working Wi-Fi card. That is huge. He also has a working LAN card, even if the onboard may or may not be dead. I think it is dead. Oh, so that is like 90% of the way there. I would like to get the GL driver query, whatever the hell it is. I'd like to get that working, but that is not in the scope of this video. I'm already kind of out of time. I gotta go pick up my wife from work. And I promised I'd look at this top thing here. So I think what we're gonna do right now is none of those. I'm gonna go ahead and put the side panel back on because, I mean, oh, wait a minute. No, I'm not. Let's shut down because now that we have a proper power supply, now we can connect his DVD drive. Fancy that. We're not going to do anything special. We're just going to connect it to, well, any of these SATA 2 ports because I do not trust the SATA 3. And it should be just fine to connect it to the same power lead as our SSD. Again, we're not loading this thing full of drives, and if we were, we would want a different power supply anyway. So there we go. Okay, he's got a DVD drive now. I don't know if it works, but I'm not going to test it. So let's go ahead and get this buttoned up because you're getting a twofer today. We're going to look at a second system. In fact, we're going to build a second system. Wife's done. I'm going to clear this off. I'm going to put his computer back together. I'm going to go get her. And we will pick this up either when I get back or tomorrow when it's not much warmer. So we have made progress. That's the important part. Wow, this is also really friggin' cold. Jeez. Do you want to know how cold it is out here? So I'm working on a video that will be coming out soon where I show you how to build a completely custom, spoilers, a completely custom gaming PC for like $200. Well, $250 I think is what I really paid. And one of the things that's going to happen in that video is I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to use that PC for like a month. Partially because the power supply in my personal PC died and took out my 3070, which was kind of tragic. But either way, I think you'll like it. Yeah. Let me show you how cold it is. So, please do not explode. Oh, please do not explode. The case for my personal PC was provided by a good friend of mine. So this is extra tragic. I picked up the case to move it. I didn't bump anything. I didn't drop it. All I did was touch it. And the temperature difference between my fingers and the tempered glass side panel was enough to shatter it. It's still in one piece. It feels solid. So I don't know what to do about this. This really, really sucks. I don't know where to get a new side panel. And it really sucks because I didn't do anything. Like, if I had dropped it, that's one thing, but I didn't. I did everything right. Except for, obviously, keep the case in a freezing cold garage. Anyway, I gotta go get my wife. We'll be back. Okay. I have done, actually, quite a bit of cleaning off camera. Most notably, ooh, that was a great noise, I can walk all over back here. There's not 300 computers just out of sight where you can't see. And I moved my heater right here. Oh, I think that alone is probably going to be quite good. I need to close this so it stops smoking. There we go. And yes, as I have mentioned before, anytime I bring up the heater, I do actually have a carbon monoxide alarm in here. So I am being safe. But it has been 4 hours since I last did anything with this, and in that time it has gotten even colder in here and outside. My wife is now asleep, which means I have plenty of time to finish my filming, and do I want to? It's cold. But, oh, listen. Nick, talking directly to you. Your misery is not the expected experience with X58 and the other similar 1366 chipsets. And I'm hoping to, with the rest of this video, help prove that. So, there are several ways that you can get into X58. You can get one of the really friggin' high-end boards like Nick has in his system, which, by the way, was donated by Augie. Don't panic. Thank you so friggin' much. That was going to be a completely different video, but here we are. Wow, it is still pretty cold. Another way that you can get into that general socket type of stuff is you can get an old workstation, such as this one. Ooh, this is destined to be, let's turn it this way, another video. I'm going to turn this into a very cheap gaming machine. I very much overpaid for this. I paid $60 for this, and it was broken when I got it. But this can support not only all of the Core i series, but it also supports the Xeons. When you're using X58 proper, Xeon support is kind of hit or miss. And remember, an X5650 with 6 cores and 12 threads is $5. Buy it now on eBay. Even with its relatively low clock speed, which in some cases you can address, even with that relatively low clock speed, it's even today, It's pretty good. The truth is, ever since Ryzen first burst onto the scene and took everyone by storm, a lot of programs have focused more on multi-threading as opposed to raw single-core speed. This means that even very old CPUs with lots of threads and very poor single-core performance can hold their own in today's tasks. So this type of system, which can go up to, I think, officially 24 gigs of RAM, but I know that there are people out there who have gotten 48 to work with a 6-core 12-thread Xeon. Not a bad machine. And the power supply, though I'm pretty sure is proprietary, does at least come with a 6-pin PCIe power connector, so you can get some reasonable graphics cards working in this machine. So that's one way you can get into the general platform, even if this probably isn't proper, X58. There's another way. You can pick up something like this. Ooh, get down here. This was our last video where we took a, let's be honest, it's basically another workstation. This was a Dell XPS. I don't remember the exact model, but we took this Dell XPS and we turned it into a pretty decent little gaming machine. It'll play modern-ish games at a reasonable-ish frame rate. So let's pop that off and show you what we're working with. I believe we have, wow, that's, I don't mean to be a broken record, but it's friggin' cold. This is a GTX 1070 Ti, 1070, I believe. We're gonna unplug it because we actually have plans for this system. This was about as cheap as I could make this machine. Half of this was junk. And the motherboard actually came out of a Gold Scrappers PC. But despite the fact that this was a workstation system, a Dell XPS, I believe the XPS at least actually did use X58 proper. Now, like I mentioned earlier, Xeon support in X58 is hit or miss. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. So what we're going to do today, let me lay this down real quick, is we're going to go ahead and yoink this, build a completely new system, and give it to Nick alongside his PC. That way, hopefully, he can get a more warm and welcoming experience, or at least a welcoming experience. I don't know if there's anything that can be warm in Iowa today. Oh, where's my screwdriver? So, there are other ways to get into X58, but as it was the sort of high-end desktop platform of the late 2010 or 20-aughts, I suppose, it does still tend to fetch a reasonable price. And by reasonable, I mean reasonable for sellers. I don't think that I would go out on eBay and buy a proper X58 board today. But with the workstations, old servers, especially servers, you can find X58-ish pretty reasonable. Plus, with servers, sometimes... Okay, I thought I had one sitting right here. I was wrong. Sometimes with servers, you can get dual socket. It's not actually real X58, but it is socket 1366. But you can get dual socket motherboards for dirt cheap, 10, 15 bucks. You can put two X5650s, or faster if you want a faster CPU, and you can get 12 cores, 24 threads, and sometimes upwards of like 144 gigs of RAM. That's slow RAM, but very, very cool, and very cheap. I apologize if my volume fluctuates a little bit. I am having a little trouble. But another option, and I want to bring this up, another option in the workstation market is this. This is an HP I think this came out of a Z motherboard, or a Z system, like a Z400 or something like that. I don't remember what's in here. It's probably an X5650. I have buckets of X5650s. One thing to watch out for on some of these is they use proprietary power connectors. This is still a very good board because not only do you get two full-length PCI Express, but you get two 8X slots with an open back. So you can take, do I have one handy? I do. You can take a full-size PCI Express card, not necessarily graphics, but anything, you know, networking, storage controllers. You can take a full-size one and just stick it in that slot. Very cool. I've literally done a video on how to cut the back off of a slot, and it works just fine. This will work in that X8 slot. So, very, very cool options. Plus, some of these have pretty beefy coolers. Look at this thing. That's awesome. And also mega proprietary, so keep that in mind. So, let's go ahead and yoink all of this out. That'll probably be mostly off camera. You've all seen me disassemble a computer 1,000 times. Hell, in our last video, I built this thing. If you want to see me disassemble this, just go watch that in reverse. So, yes, I will see you in just a moment. Okay, we have, well, the majority of our parts out here. We're not going to reuse the graphics card. We're going to go with something decidedly lower end, and I'll explain that in just a moment. We're going to reuse this Thermaltake TR2 600 watt power supply. I don't see why we shouldn't. I mean, it's working, and I don't have a lot of money, so yes, this power supply actually came with the Dell XPS. Someone had attempted to upgrade it in the past and busted up the socket a little bit, and we fixed that socket with a screwdriver. So that was the whole thing. Check out that video if you want. It's just the last one I posted, I think. Maybe, I don't remember. It's cold. So we're going to rebuild this, but we're going to use this Antec NX200M case that I haven't unboxed yet, and I really should have. You know, when it's really cold, it does kind of affect your judgment. Should have already had this out. But this is an extremely good budget case. I bought like 4 of them. If you want to know why I have no money, that's why. I bought 4 cases. On the plus side, these are only $40 a piece right now. That is, honestly, for a case like this, a crazy, crazy good deal. Let's see if we can get this out without breaking anything. Okay. Hey, that wasn't too bad. Okay. Yep. Sure. Get out of here. It's a very pretty case. And again, for $40, you are getting, ouch, static, you're getting a fairly decent case with a magnetic dust filter on the back. Front, not quite so fancy. You can just pop this off, though. You get 2 USB 2 ports. You get 1 USB 3 front panel audio. You get this nice door. What is going on over there? Huh. Anyway, we're going to carefully remove this door and set it aside in a way that hopefully will not damage it. I've never had issues with tempered glass before until I touched that one. I'm still mad about that. We're also going to remove this dust filter because it will slide around and get in our way. So, you also get a nice basement to hide your power supply. And in the back Oh, that's right. These are usually super, super tight. These are the cheap. No. These are actually metal knurled thumb screws. I was expecting them to be plastic. Yeah. I'm okay with that. Let's put that over here. That's probably going to slide down and make a hell of a clattering. So, in the back, you get a hard drive bay that is technically capable of holding 2 hard drives, just in a very strange way, and you can tuck another SSD underneath. So technically, you can put 3 drives right here, although if you do that, personal experience, it is almost impossible to get to the SSD underneath. There just is not a lot of room inside this case. So keep that in mind if you're doing some sort of build with, a whole bunch of hard drives or something. Additionally, you can, and probably should, mount an SSD here. It looks like it's compatible with 2 SSDs. It is technically compatible with 2 SSDs, but I don't think you're getting 2 in there, because if you put another one on top, you're not going to be able to close the side panel at all. Plus, that's plastic. I'm not a fan of this plastic piece. Everything else is metal. They could have easily just done some stamped steel, but I mean, it's a $40 case. You got to cut costs somewhere. We don't need instructions. So, let's get you over here and let's build this for real. Whew, just got to warm up my hands a little bit here. Goodness. So actually, before we do this, let's move this out of the way, because we're going to try and upgrade this. Now, this is a very, very risky maneuver for 2 reasons. Number one, the processor that I'm going to try to put in here, I don't actually know is compatible. That's the X5650. And number two, this CPU socket already has damage to it. Anytime we go to remove or add a CPU, we risk completely destroying it now that it has that damage. So naturally, we're going to try it anyway. Okay, we've got our, ouch, i7 920 exposed. Let's see. Got tons of X5650s, but I do have at least 2 5675s, which are, well, actually a lot faster. So let's be very careful with how this comes out. I am probably more nervous than I should be. It's not like I don't have other options if this does fail. Or sorry, not like I don't have other options, but I don't want to ruin perfectly working hardware. So let's very, very, oh, I'm so cold that my hands are shaking, carefully. Yeah, we're in. Just tuck that there. Where's my thermal paste? That was stressful. Okay. Oh, wait, what? My thermal paste has doubled. Okay. Oh, that's right, I remember now. So let's put a fairly... My thermal paste might be frozen. That's unfortunate. Let's try this one. Oh, that one worked fine. The other one's probably just a little bit dry. Needs the front picked out or something. I haven't opened that one in a long time. Okay, this is nice and clean. Oh dear. Okay, so let's get this secured. Okay, that's in. Get our CPU fan plugged in. Now this does not actually have onboard graphics, so I don't actually know. I don't know if this card works, but we're going to try it. But we need to prop up our motherboard just a bit. Let's use this. Just enough so our bracket can clear. Let's slap that in there. Whew. Okay. It is worth noting that not all of these boards are going to have an 8-pin CPU. A surprising amount of them just have a 4-pin. Although those are capable of running, well, again, depending on the CPU support, they are capable of running a CPU such as a 5650 power-wise. When you start looking towards upgrading to a higher power CPU, you just shouldn't. So this one, luckily, should be capable. All right, that's in. I need a power cord. There we go. Now let's keep that off for now. Okay, where's my monitor cable now? You're not going to be able to see this because of how the camera's positioned, but I'll be able to see it, and right now, just for testing, that's all that matters. I'll tell you if it doesn't work. Okay. Now this also has a semi-proprietary front panel, because of course it does. So even though it uses the standard front panel connector, it has a semi-proprietary pinout. So our power is these two. I did plug that in, right? Yeah. Okay, that doesn't want to turn on. Why? CPU's plugged in. You know what? I have an idea. I actually still have the XPS power button. I have not yet thrown it out because I am a hoarder. Where did I put it? I think I see it. Yes. Okay. I didn't do anything. I was sitting here hunting around for this, and it just turns on. Okay. That is actually one reason why we want to change this power supply. The fan's bad. That needs to be tightened, but we are not getting a display output. Can't get that one. Hopefully that's fine though. Okay, let's grab a different graphics card, preferably one that I know actually works. That might have even been our hosting issue. Whew. You know what? we know that the 1070 works. It's a little overkill just for testing, but it'll do. Let's get that plugged in. And of course now we need power for our graphics card, but that can be done. I think this is a 1070. Wait, is this a 1070 or not? Oh, that's a 970. Oh, okay. Now, can we get it to turn on? You know what, we'll just, oh, there we go. That's a lot better. We do not have a display output. Let me look up the official CPU support for this, because the XPS might have the Xeons locked out. Okay. So this was an XPS 435 MT. It might be capable with a Xeon W series, but it is not compatible with the X series. Let's see. You know what I do have? I actually have an i7 960, which is still faster than what was in here before, which was a 920. So let me pop this back off, and we'll try this again. I really hope we didn't bust this socket trying our Xeon upgrade. It wouldn't have killed it electrically, but again, anytime you're dealing with a socket that has had bent pins in the past, every CPU removal is a chance for those pins to snap. Well, we got good coverage of our thermal paste. It is a shame about that. Still want to be careful with this removal. And okay, I'm just going to set this off to the side. And our slightly dirty but probably functional i7 960 right in. Oop. Okay. Thermal paste, and then we'll see if it works. Now you should be able to actually replace this with a better cooler if you really wanted to, but for me, I mean it's actually pretty good cooler. It's got 3 heat pipes, so I do not see a reason to replace it. Unless the fan goes bad. Then we might have a reason. At this point, I would like to call your attention to that bad capacitor right there. We've known about that, and I have elected to ignore it. So let's see if we'll turn on this time for one, and I will see if we get an output. There we go. I don't like that front power button thing. Yeah, this power supply, I've got to replace that fan or something. We still don't have a display output. Oh no. That fan is bad. You know, I'm not being a very good ambassador for X58 in this video, am I? Okay, new plan. I do not think that I've killed this motherboard. I think maybe it needs a BIOS update to support the 960. So maybe changing the 920 was just a straight up mistake. But I think maybe we can at least give this a shot. Also, maybe that capacitor's finally just done us in. Still no display. Well, that is the problem with old parts sometimes. It sucks, but sometimes this happens. Okay, Only thing we can do is press on. So I think what we are going to do is we'll switch to that HP board that I was talking about. I wonder what's in it. Wait, is this? Yeah, that's an HP. Kind of a familiar looking cooler, wouldn't you say? Now, I should be changing this power supply, but I'm not going to yet. This is one of those 4-pin ones. Let's get this connected. This is an adapter to adapt from a standard ATX to HP's proprietary form factor. Very, very necessary if you're going to do this. Okay, now we need some RAM. So let's steal some from our previous build. We want, oh, odd, DIMM 1's way the heck over here. Okay, so we're just gonna do this. Slots 1 and 2. Yes, I know this is not how you're supposed to do it, but okay. Will it just turn on? Sometimes they do. If we want to get technical, I don't even know if there's a CPU on here. But, oh, what am I doing? We don't have a graphics card. It's very funny how this is an HP board. It's got a lot of Dell-coated things, like a lot of green plastic. Okay, where's the front panel? Where is the front panel on this? I'm gonna just... Okay, I guessed the power pins. We have a screen. This board lives. I don't know what it has. Maybe I can see. I'm going to be real disappointed if this has an i7 920 in it. But them's the breaks sometimes. So let's get this keyboard plugged in. This is pre-USB 3, by the way. I want the setup. It's F10. Okay, what do we have? System information. We have an X5650. Perfect. So we know that this system works, and actually we know this graphics card works, which is kind of cool. So now let's talk about one of the other benefits of these platforms. Not only do you get access to cheaper DDR3, you get access to ECC DDR3. Now in our case, this I do not believe is compatible with registered ECC. I have registered ECC. Let's just test it. Here's some registered ECC. Let's just slap that in. I want to say I do not think this is going to work. But you never know. I'm going to have to short the pins again, aren't I? Okay, there we go. Should probably move this so I can get into the BIOS if it boots, but I don't think it will. I am not getting a screen. This is not surprising at all. Okay. So that puts registered ECC in the does not work section. But that's okay. we still have access to extremely cheap non-registered ECC. These are 4 gig sticks, which I got on eBay as a buy it now price for $3 a piece. So ideally, we would go one at a time and just test them to make sure that they work. But I'm feeling good today. I'm also cold, and I want to get this over with. So we're just going to go for broke. Now this should be compatible. Oh boy, we are going for, I think 24 gigs. Yeah. I had to math there, and cold brain does not math very well. Okay. Get this turned back on, see what happens. Or it's just going to turn on itself. Okay. That might suggest a bad BIOS battery, which I'm actually out of, so I can't actually change that. Oh, hey, we got a screen. I want F10. System info. Oh, hold on a second. We've got errors in DIMMs 3 and 4. Okay. So let's pop these out and reseat them. You're just going to turn back on. Let's see, we're going to set up. I do like it how it shows errors in the BIOS and tells you which DIMMs they are. That's awesome. System info. 3 and 4 still have errors. Now, we're going to pop both of these out and just replace them. But at this point, I would like to mention that it is possible, though unlikely. 1, 2, 3. It is possible, but unlikely, that we have a bad memory channel. Okay. It is number 3 that is failing consistently, and it's disabling this entire channel. So that means we could actually, not that one, we could actually have a bad memory channel on this board. That is super, super uncommon, but it does happen. Okay. Try another. After this, we're going to turn our attention back to that Dell board, because I just realized the case that we're using is micro ATX, and this is a full ATX board. So, not as easy as I would have hoped. DIMM 3 failed self-test again. We might have a bad memory slot. Okay. Reseating the CPU could fix that, but given that this board won't fit in our case anyway, that's a problem for future math. Okay, well that's a lot of lost footage. TLDR, the 920 is the only CPU that seems to work in this system. This fan is bad, so we're going to change it. And I did try other CPUs. I had a W3565 that we tried. No dice, even though that theoretically should work. We tried an i7 960 and 950. Again, no dice. So far, we've been fairly lucky in the fact that we have discovered our fix has stayed. That's very unusual. This is such a pain. It's a terrible cooler to try and fix, but that fan will drive anyone crazy. So I'm just trying to get it off real quick. Well, I found this awesome Noctua fan. I'm not sure where I got it, but I mean, it's here, so I might as well use it. Let's go ahead and squeeze a little more of this out here. And yes, I did get thermal paste all over my fingers, which is great, you know? That's cool. So let's go ahead and put this here. I did not bother to put the grill back on the front. I just don't really think it's necessary. And I am going to have to clip this zip tie thing, I think. Well, actually, no, maybe that'll fit. We'll see. Okay. Now we just want to verify that it is still working. So once again, we power that on. I'm looking at the screen that you can't see. This is very quiet, actually. Do we get a screen? Huh. We don't. The only thing that changed is I put the cooler on. I've just had a really stupid idea. It's possible, unlikely, but possible that Dell will not allow their system to post if it does not have a 4-pin fan connected up here. So let's go ahead and, yeah, this is a 4-pin. I don't really care where that goes. No screen. I want a different power supply. Okay, so here's a power supply that I got for 10 bucks. It's a Rosewill 630 watt, which is kind of a strange number, but I mean, whatever. Technically, I don't know if it works yet, but we're about to find out. Okay, that's our PCIe. What else do we have? What are we working with? Second PCIe. Looks like our... What? Who did that? Someone didn't need an 8-pin. I secured it with that. But we do need an 8-pin. So, get that connected. Motherboard. We're going to plug our fan back in like that. And we are going to hope that this doesn't have a bad fan. Once again, I didn't touch it. No bad fan, that's nice. Still no screen, though. This is cursed. This project should not be this hard. It could be this capacitor here, but I'm actually seeing some discoloration around the board, around the north bridge. So maybe we've just got a slowly dying board. I'm going to take this off and see if it posts with no pressure on the CPU socket, because that could indicate that our bent pins have once again become a problem, just like I said they definitely could. We are going to plug in the fan, though. Verify that the 3-pin fan is not going to cause it to not post. Is it just going to turn on again? Yes. We do not have a screen. Our board die? That would not be super awesome. Let's go ahead and grab some regular non-ECC memory. I might have to steal a BIOS battery from something else. No screen. Okay, let me see what I can find. I've replaced the BIOS battery. I reseated the CPU. And we have a screen. I'm going to put our cooler on here. I did find one pin that looked a little weird, so I did fiddle with it a little bit with the screwdriver I use for NVMe screws. I like how this has slowly twisted itself compared to the camera. I'm going to very, very gently put this cooler back on, alternating which ones I'm tightening. And with any luck, we should still have a screen once we are done tightening. Get in there. This is the problem when you are dealing with sockets that have bad CPU pins. And I do really want to stress, this is not the average experience with X58. This really is not. I just have a lot of junk. So, you can power on automatically. No, that's good. That's good. That's our new BIOS battery at play. Do we still have a screen? Yes. Oh. All right, we're never taking this off again. Oh my God. You want to talk about cursed hardware? Actually, maybe I should put that thing back on just so that way this doesn't. Nah, it'll be fine. Here's what we'll do. We'll take our clippers, we'll clip this, then we will route this just around the back. Perfect. Now, let's once again try our ECC. These are $3 per stick. Caveat there, if you buy them in bulk, I bought like 20 of them at a time, and they're super dirt cheap. Not turning on, that's good. There we go. I'm so stressed out, I got the hiccups. Okay, we still have a screen. Let's go for broke and fill it up completely. And after that, I can finally tell you why we are not going to be going back with that 960. look, Nick, I know that your build was cursed, but I started recording this segment at like 12:30. It's now 3:30. I've been doing a lot of off-camera testing and a lot of things that are just going to get cut because they are either boring or don't really add any value. So, will we post with 24 gigs of RAM, just like you've got? Now, I don't have the 6-core CPU, but I have a working CPU. That's all I care about right now. Okay. This is not... This is really hard to press that button. There we go. This is not the usual experience. Oh, popped my back. We have a screen. Oh. Oh. We can finally move on. Oh my God. Gotta sit down. Yeah, let's get this out of here. This is not what we're going to be using long term. Okay. I think we are finally ready to move on to the next part of the build. Now, the graphics card that I intend to use once I find a good spot to set this, I don't have a good spot, is this. This is the Quadro FX3800. Not exactly a powerful graphics card by any stretch of the word, but it was reasonable for the era that we are shooting for, which again is sort of a DirectX 9, DirectX 10 sort of thing. The LAN party is kind of shooting for a dual core max, but you know, this is still pretty fun. And I don't know, but I think the FX3800 is fine. It's a good card. So let's get this in. What are we getting? Oh, it's the front panel. Should be pretty good to go as far as standoffs. Yeah, perfect. Try and find a good way for you to see this thing while I'm putting it together. This uses fine thread. I guess we'll be digging into the ones that they sent us. If I'm going to be opening up the screw package that they gave us, I suppose I might as well put in the last couple of standoffs. We want one here, and also here. Luckily, they sent us exactly 2 more. Convenient. Okay, let's see if this ancient kit has an appropriate driver. I don't think it does. Maybe this one? Holy shit, yeah. Okay, board back in. And now I can secure it. What a cursed computer. This should have been so easy. Also, I think that our CPU support issues are going to be entirely down to the BIOS that's on this thing. It's got like Rev A02, so one of the real early BIOSes for this. if we updated the BIOS, I suspect we'd be home free for that whatever it was, 3565. Not that it matters. You know, spending all this time hunched over this case has really hurt my back. I want to go to bed, but that's okay. This is what I do for fun. Even when I'm not filming, it's just fun to build computers. If you went on eBay and you bought one of these exact motherboards, I suspect you could probably nab one for like 20 bucks. Now, you'd have to figure out your own cooler, but again, you're looking at $15 to $25 for cooler. I don't know how much that CPU costs, but it can't be much. It can't. I'm going to guess like $5, $10. We're going to guess $5 for the 920. It's the bottom of the barrel. Let's see. Power supply, I actually paid $10 for, and that was a buy it now price on eBay. The RAM was $3 a piece. Graphics card, how much did I pay for that graphics card? I'm just trying to figure out what the total cost of this system is. Purchases. I paid $10 for that graphics card. All right, let's get the good old calculator out here. 10 for the graphics card, 20 for the motherboard. Let's do 20 for a cooler, 10 for... we'll do 10 for a CPU. 18 for the RAM. 40 for the case. 10 for the power supply. Now, I will be adding 2 fans up front. You can get those easy for $5 a piece. So we're looking at about 140 bucks so far. And we're going to use a 250 gig SSD, which you can still get them for 20 bucks. So this is probably 160 bucks if you use an SSD. Probably going to be the cheapest. You can easily build this. Now, if you find local deals or combo deals, that's really the way to go. You can find these all day, every day, with an i7 920 included. I don't know about this cooler. Maybe. So let's plug this in. There's only so much I can do for cable management, but I do want to at least try. Now, before I start with the graphics card, let's get our front panel stuff fed around to the front. Oh, that's right. We've got USB 3. Give me a moment here. Somewhere nearby, I saw it earlier today when I, of course, wasn't looking for it. Somewhere here I have a USB 2.0 header to USB 3. It's not strictly necessary, but I kind of want all of the front panel stuff to work. Quickly losing interest. And I don't care. Okay, so we're not going to have our USB 3 connected, so we can just kind of coil that up. And stick it down here, where we're not going to put anything. As for these, front panel can go in here, and this stuff can go up from below. We'll secure it in a minute. Okay. Power switch. Hard drive LED. I don't actually know which is which, but I'm going to try. Okay, so there's that. We've got USB and HD audio. I do find it nice that this XPS board is a standard micro ATX board and not some ungodly weird thing, as Dell is wont to do. So that's our front panel done. I'll swap out here. Now let's get our SSD mounted to this plastic piece of junk. These are the last screws included with the case for fine thread. So they expect you to have only one SSD. That is right back in there. This right back in there. So SSD mounted. Now I suppose I can't put it off any longer. We should get our power supply in. Now this is a nice unit. I'm very glad that it was only 10 bucks. It's very short. I've actually had issues with this exact case with larger power supplies, and you can find those videos on my Patreon. So let's get this connected. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. The seller included screws, which are still attached. Wasn't expecting that, so I didn't even bother to check. That's actually minorly inconvenient because now I got to get them out. Okay. So this power supply is stripped on all of the... Oh, actually that one tightened up. Oh, so you gotta be careful about that. Yeah, that'll work just fine. Then we can tuck this down like so. What do we actually need? And what can we stuff down below? So this... Oh dear, am I going to be able to get that on? The other one's the same. Oh yeah, we're fine. Okay. So this can just get stuffed down there. We do not have a second drive, although we probably should. We need at least one of these 6 pins. We do not need Molex. Just trying to untangle everything here. I'm just stuffing these into the hard drive bay. I mean, nothing else is going in there, so might as well. Keeps them out of sight, out of mind, and out of the way of any fans we install. Now, what we're going to do, because these systems do actually run very hot, especially their chipsets, and that's how they like to die, is we will be adding fans to the front using this splitter, which does mean, yes, those fans will be running at full tilt all the time, so we're going to have to choose quiet fans. I think I paid a couple bucks for this splitter. Now it splits into 4, which is slightly inconvenient because I don't like wasting anything, and the extra 2 are, well, wasted. But that's okay. We're not shooting for perfection here. We're shooting for a functional system. Now, of course, it just so happens that our friend just sent in some fans. So we can use these in the front. Yes. That is a strange adapter right there. That was probably for... Oh, this was for some sort of proprietary Hey, this was for an HP. Ah, that's sick. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. We'll get these done in a bit. For now, let's get our cables managed. This will have to go through there. These will go through the top. This one right through there. Oh, I'm running out of fuel in the heater. So, oh, this is going to be terrible to try and get done. Oh, no. I think I have to remove that fan. I know you probably can't see this super well. I do apologize for that. Okay, that's actually exceptionally difficult to get. Man, who grew all this hair on my head? It's getting in the way. All right. They're both on. That'll do. Now we need to get this back in. This has been a nightmare. Oh, dear. Okay, that's in. I didn't like it, but it is in. Is there anything that I'm forgetting? I need SATA for the SSD. That's not much of an issue. I know that our friend just gave us a bunch of SATA cables, but I am loath to already start dipping into them when I have others available. Well, I got this one. We'll just use this. I think that the blue port is going to be our SATA 3 port. I think the rest are SATA 2. That gets us through. This is going to be a bit of a nightmare. So, at this point, we can put our graphics card in. Oh, that's right, this has like a cover. Okay, I really should like repaste this, but not right now. It's cold, it's late. I want to go. I want to go to bed. Okay, that's in. And we avoided stripping it out. Put our little whatever shield back in. Not really sure why they bother with this, but I mean, I guess it's aesthetically pleasing. Blech. I can't speak. I'm tired. I'm cold. Let's get this done. So, graphics card connected to power. Pull it through. Okay. That's going to be more or less what it looks like. That's actually pretty clean. So let's get this cable managed. Okay. I think that's reasonable. I mean, again, we still have to do the fans, but everything in here looks fairly clean. So let's get to those fans. This front just pops off. Takes a little violence. Oh. Okay. Ouch. I'm actually going to reuse the screws that held the old grill to the front of the CPU cooler. I mean, why not? We've got them. Oh my god. I'm putting this on backwards. I'm starting to make mistakes. do not work when you're as tired as me. This is not a good idea. And I just realized that this particular fan that I'm holding is not going to work. I think, especially since it says Zalman on it, it was probably a CPU fan. Oh, hence why it was it had that weird HP adapter on it. But you see, it's only got ears on one side, so I can't use that. But he also gave us this. Now I bet this is loud, so it's a sacrifice, but that's okay. We'll make it work. Okay. At some point, I must have accidentally. Oh no. Oh no. Oh dear. Okay. Well, my lapel microphones died, so my back hurts. I'm tired. I'm hungry, and I want to go to bed. So we're gonna just tuck some of this stuff up here. Get that secured with a zip tie. At least I'm gonna try to. We are just about done with this, honestly, which is good. Good. Okay. That's just sit like that. Don't work tired like me. Don't do it. It's just a bad idea. You start to make mistakes. You stop paying as good attention to things. Okay, so here's our two fans. Let's hope that these are not crazy loud. Okay, do I dare? I think I do. I'm not even gonna cable manage the fans yet because we don't know if they're gonna stay. Let me, oh, that's right. Thumb screws on the back. Door on the front. Now this case has a nice flat side panel, which is very good looking, but it does not give you as much room to do cable management on the back side of the case. So let's get our front back on. Now we can put our front panel on. This little notchy thing goes towards the bottom. Okay, so that's more or less what it looks like. Let's see if it posts. Oh dear, I wasn't expecting my lapel microphones to die like that. I really hope this isn't setting up a huge glare, but there might be. I do apologize if there is. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and verify that the system still posts. I'm not going to install anything tonight. I really do not feel like doing that. I'm tired. That's loud. Both front fans are on. That is quite a dump. This is actually quite reasonable. We have a screen. That's good. Oh, alright, this is going to be a multi-day video, isn't it? I shut this off now. Just about out of fuel anyway. So I think I'm not even gonna clean up. It's 5 a.m. I gotta go to bed. I will see you in the morning with freshly charged lapel microphones. It is a new day and I am a beacon of sunshine and rainbows. It is even colder. It's actually warmer outside, but I haven't had several hours of a heater, slowly making the garage slightly bearable. I mean, the computer's basically done. At this point, all I need to do is install an operating system, install some games, install drivers, and test it. So I was really tempted to tell the camera, let's go upstairs and get this installed off camera, and the next time you see me, we'll be on the desktop. But my friend Nick had so much trouble getting anything to work on his system that it behooves me to try to get VISTA installed. Yes, Windows VISTA on camera. Oh, it's cold. Oh, I cannot express to you. It is like 10 times, figuratively speaking, 10 times colder than last night. It feels so much worse. I've got my heater right here, but when I put my hand here, it's nice and warm. Freezing. So, anyway, my system has several disadvantages over his, and several advantages. The main disadvantage is that I don't have USB 3 at all. Now I could go upstairs to my apartment and grab a USB 3 card, which I do have, but number one, I seem to recall that I don't have the full height bracket for that card, which means I couldn't install it in this case anyway. And number two, USB 2 is fine. As long as it's not USB 1, we're good to go. So, we're going to use our iOD ST300, and I just realized I need to grab a keyboard still. Do I still have that other one nearby? Where did I put that? Here it is. Okay, keyboard. Now, luckily, this is also infinitely smaller than his PC, so I don't have to worry about not being able to fit it on my table like his. And number two, I need a mouse. I see one. But number two, number whatever. I woke up like 10 minutes ago, threw on some clothes, and said, let's finish that video so I can do other things today. Whatever number we're on, at its heart, this is still a Dell, which means drivers should be really, really easy to come by for this machine, as opposed to the Asus Sabertooth I think he has. So, let's get Windows VISTA set up. Now on the iOD ST300, once power is applied, you can use these menu buttons to navigate through your list of ISO files to then select which ISO you've got. In our case, of course, it's VISTA. So let's see. I've got two versions of VISTA. Let's try the second one. Okay. Should just boot right from the iOD. Oh yeah, we have to accept the defaults, F10, save and exit, and that's simply because we changed that BIOS battery, which that tells me that maybe our old BIOS battery wasn't bad and I can reuse that in a different system. Man, I need to go to the store and pick up more BIOS batteries. Those are CR 2032s, by the way. Okay, let's see what happens. Just move my heater here, Jesus. For those who aren't familiar, the iOD ST300 shows up to the system as if it were a simple external CD drive. That's why it is so fantastic. Lots of systems have trouble booting directly from USB. I know that Rufus is a good tool, but if the system thinks it's a CD drive, the compatibility drastically increases. Also, I'm really debating one final thing. Nick's computer doesn't have an I/O shield, and I think I might have found the I/O shield last night when I was getting ready for bed. And I would be disassembling a lot to get that motherboard out just to get the I/O shield in. I'm not sure if I care enough to do that. Oh, that is... We'll see how I feel at the end of this. Nick, yeah, we'll see. Okay. Well, we've loaded into the installer. Mouse works fine, that's good. Sure. Sees our disk. Now, here's one of the areas where it would fail with Nick. It would go through copying files, but once it got to expanding files, it would sit there on 0% for about 3 minutes and then crash. If we can see 1%, then that would be a huge difference. So far, we're still on 0% though. Oh, 1%, okay. Oh, that plagued us for like 2.5 hours. Oh, all right, Nick, I got all the hardware issues. You got all the software issues. Let's hope that this just works. And there we go. We have Windows Vista. Now, the only thing I've done is I've closed the Windows sidebar, and I believe I have disabled it from starting on boot up because widgets are cool, but not great. On this flash drive, I have all my games, and I've also got, I get it plugged in here, Snappy Driver Installer. Now, some of our drivers are already picked up, and that's kind of the benefit of having an OEM an OEM motherboard. A lot of the drivers are just kind of included with Windows, but we are still going to run Snappy, mostly for the video card. Now let's see here. We've got a bunch of chipset drivers, which I'm going to ignore. We've got a gigabit network controller. That's probably already working just fine. FX3800, here we go. Now, when I do this, I usually go a few revisions back, just because the latest drivers usually kind of blow. Now, this might be different for this card because it's a Quadro card and not a regular GeForce card. Honestly, I could probably just install all of these, but we'll get the chipset ones. And that should be all we need. And Snappy takes care of the rest. While I get things copied over, I think that we are probably safe to put our side panel on at this point. I mean, I do not intend to do any more adjusting to this. So let's go ahead and get this on. Now this can be kind of a pain. There we go. What did I bump? Oh, I bumped the flash drive, damn it. Okay, we can resume. Perfect. Honestly, that is a good looking little PC. Okay, took me a hot minute. Well, cold minute. But we've got a whole bunch of games installed here. Now, this is the type of thing where I would do one of those gaming montages that I mentioned earlier. But thanks to some copyright stuff, I'm probably not going to do one of those for at least a few videos. See, I actually pay for a license to use a track called Chuck Taylor's Rule. Yes, it's kind of a dumb name, but I paid money to get a license to use that track legally. And I still get copyright claimed every single time that I use it, and I have to fight it. I always win, but it's just infuriating because anytime I use that track, I get the claim, and the viewership of that video suffers until the claim is released, and then of course it shoots right up. So let's just have a quick look. I do not have a huge amount of time. I'm very hungry, and I'd like to go inside where it's warm. So we're going to see how many, if any, of these games will run on VISTA. This one already looks like it's having trouble starting. Yeah, we have no hardware acceleration, so let's try updating our graphics driver real quick. Wait a minute. I'm an idiot. I forgot to restart the PC after installing the first driver. I just started to install games. Let's go ahead and restart. And now we should have our graphics driver. I forgot to restart. Okay. Oh dear. System restarted. Looks like it's i7 920, 24 gigs RAM, Quadro FX 3800. Let's try that again. That looks a lot better. Sure. All right. Hey, this is running pretty darn good, actually. What's the boost? I can never remember the boost. Okay, it's left control. I mean, I don't know if I need to see any more of this. This game is running beautifully. Oh. I may not be the best driver. But, yeah, let's move on to the next game. We're not going to play a whole bunch, so we're not going to load up Battle Engine Tequila. Let's just run Unreal Tournament 2004, which should be very easy to run. If we can run Flat Out 2, we can run this no problem. No, I do not want to quit. Let's make everything, do not display that again. Let's make everything on, let's run it at the highest possible settings. And 1024. Keep settings. Deathmatch. Sure, actually I don't really like Inferno. Let's play Iron Deity. Okay, now this mouse kind of sucks, especially with this mouse pad, but we should at least... Oh yeah, this runs beautifully. This is great. Yeah, this is perfect. Once again, I'm not sure if I need to even see anything else. Yeah. I think I'm following some of... There we are. Okay. Yeah. Pretty good. Next game. I think the hardest game to run that I've got on this PC is Saints Row 2. I think it's the newest, at least. We've got Battlefront 2 as well, but that's actually not as hard to run as you might think. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is... I know how to punch. This is... I mean, it seems to be okay. But I highly suspect... How do I get out of this room? Oh, my mouse sensitivity is so high. What I'm trying to say when I keep getting distracted by, playing the game, I think that we're going to have some trouble when it comes to the actual, overworld. Wow, this sensitivity is insane. Holy crap. I can't play it like that. What the heck is going on? Oh, wait, I have a button. I have a button to change sensitivity on my mouse. That's awesome. All right, let's get out of here. Did I go the wrong way? I think there's a gun up here, but I don't really care. Let's see if it can handle this. Yeah, this isn't super great. I mean, not the worst I've seen, but maybe with a better mouse this wouldn't be so bad. What? Why am I out of the car? What happened? This is not a great experience. I'm going to estimate we're getting an average of like the 20s. Oh. I gotta say, the driving in this game kind of sucks. Anyway, that's all I need to see. And there we have it. This is what it's supposed to be like to use an X58 system. It should just install, work fine. Drivers are plentiful and easy to get to. VISTA should, again, just install and work just fine. I'm not sure what was going on with Nick's PC, but oh, that was such a nightmare. Could have been a bad ISO file, could have been some weird BIOS setting, it could have been anything. We have our theories. As for this machine, this had the exact opposite problem. I had absolutely cursed hardware. I think that the reason we couldn't upgrade our CPU was purely due to the BIOS. I think we need a BIOS update in order to use anything other than what's in here. So, with that said, what we have now is a fully functional and quite nice X58 system. I think I know what we're going to do. Oh, this has toslink. Hey, that's pretty cool. Optical audio, very nice. So, what are we going to do with this? Ideally, I'd take this, put it right back in that spot on the wall, and, we'd be off to the races. But I think that what we're going to do is we're going to take this system as it is and give it to Nick. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Nick's got a kid, and it would be pretty cool if they could play games together. Unreal Tournament, Quake 3, things like that. So I have loaded this thing up with games. Oh, what a nightmare, though. Oh boy, I don't really know how to end this video, so if you liked this, a like would be appreciated. It does help me in the algorithm. Comment down below, let me know what you would have done differently. What should we do? Should we come back and try to upgrade this system later? I don't know how easy it'll be to get the system back from his kid if we were to upgrade it. I don't know. I'm cold. I can't think. I'm hungry. If you want to see more builds like this, feel free to subscribe. My Patreon is listed down below, as is my P.O. Box if you want to A, see all sorts of behind-the-scenes content, or B, send us stuff to help with builds like this. And with that, thank you for watching. It's cold. I'm out of here.